Hello, my name is Andre Maurice Davis, and today in this video, right now, we're going to go over the ready stance. So, as opposed to the horse stance and the front stance, which are, as we've learned it so far, very stationary. It's not meant to move. They are there for stability. Excuse me, and our upper body is, if we're going to do anything, our upper body is going to be doing the movement in the horse stance and in the front stance, as we've learned them. With the ready stance, it's a little bit different in that the purpose of it isn't necessarily for stability, but rather for agility, to be able to move position and still have a foundation from which to strike, excuse me, or defend or block. You still have a foundation, but it's not as solid of a foundation. With the ready stance, we're going to be moving around a little bit. We can move around freely with it. We can bounce up and down. We can move left and right, move forward and back from the ready stance quite readily. So the ready stance, as far as how we put ourselves into it, it's really just a shortened front stance. So if I take my right foot forward and go into a front stance here, if I want to take this front stance and turn it into a ready stance, I'm just going to shorten up my stance. I'm going to maybe cut it in about half so that I'm standing more upright. So my knee is bent here, and instead of this back leg being straight as it was, as it is in the front stance, I'm going to have a little bit of bend in it, some give, so that I can move over my ankles and still stay standing upright, balanced, but I have some flexibility to move around the plane here. And excuse me. And in this ready stance, like I mentioned with the other stances, the horse stance and the front stance, we've been very rigid with our lower body. It's meant for that stability. And our upper body has been, as we've learned the stances, we haven't really done anything with our hands. It's been optional to place them up in chamber for a punch, or to put our hands up in a protective guard, excuse me, or to just place our hands in front of us, or just let them hang loosely. In this case, because the ready stance is for mainly for defensive, offensive, being ready, we're going to be up in a guard position. I'm not so worried about how our hands are, whether they're in fist right now, but just so that our arms are up, and we've got some sort of ability to move our hands in front of our body to deflect anything or strike out at anything that's in front of us. So when we're in our ready stance, we'll consider our hands up. We don't need to worry so much about our fists, if their hands, how our hands are positioned, but we can, just to start off, we'll have loose hands, so not quite tight fists, but looser fists, balled up, so you can wiggle your fingers in front of the palms of your hands loosely, but they're just up loose. Don't worry about tightening them up. And then again, our legs, our back leg slightly bent, front leg is slightly bent. We can have this movement here, and we can see here I can move my body, shift my weight between my front leg and my back leg, side to side. I can bend down lower to move however I need to do that. And that's with my feet just planted as they are. If I wanted to pick up my feet and move them around this way, I'm free to do that in this ready stance. I've still got my legs slightly bent, my hands up in front of me, and I can just move around a little bit. Versus if I'm in a horse stance, there's not movement going on. I'm not shifting or anything like that. I'm planted here. And a front stance, I'm not moving. I mean, I can a little bit, but it's really more for that stability. In my ready stance, I'm up. I can move side, forward, back, go around, whatever I need to do. So that's the ready stance. As with any of this, if you have any questions, want to go over anything more specifically about the stance, feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, look forward to seeing you in class over at Mandala Sun or online.